I returned a lost wallet, then found out who it belonged to. A few years ago, I was walking home from work when I spotted a wallet lying near a bus stop. At first, I almost kept walking. I figured someone else would turn it in, but something made me pick it up. Inside was about PS300 in cash, a few bank cards, and a driver's license. The owner lived about 20 minutes away. I considered mailing it, but then I thought about how stressed I'd be if I lost my wallet, so I decided to return it in person. When I knocked on the door, an elderly woman answered. The moment she saw the wallet, her eyes widened. Then she started crying. Actual tears. I immediately thought something terrible had happened. I apologized and explained where I'd found it. She kept thanking me over and over. Eventually, she invited me inside for tea. Normally, I would have said no, but she seemed genuinely relieved. So I stayed for a few minutes. That's when she told me why she was so emotional. The wallet didn't belong to her. It belonged to her husband. He'd passed away 3 days earlier. I didn't know what to say. Apparently, she'd been going through his belongings when she realized the wallet was missing. She thought it had been lost forever. The cash wasn't important. The cards weren't important. What mattered was what was hidden inside. She carefully opened a small compartment I'd completely missed. Inside was an old photograph, worn and faded from decades of use. It showed a young couple standing beside a tiny car, her and her husband, taken over 50 years ago. According to her, he'd carried that photo every single day since they got married. She thought she'd never see it again. At this point, I felt like I was intruding on something deeply personal. But then she smiled and told me a story. The photo had been taken the day they bought their first car together. They were broke. The car barely worked, and they spent the next year eating instant noodles because of it. She laughed through tears while telling me about it. Before I left, she thanked me again. I thought that was the end of it. A week later, I received a letter in the mail. Inside was a handwritten note. She wrote that returning the wallet had given her one last piece of her husband back during the hardest week of her life. There was also a small gift card. But honestly, the note meant more than anything else. I still keep it in a drawer. Whenever I wonder whether small acts of kindness matter, I think about that day. Sometimes what looks like a lost wallet is actually someone's irreplaceable memory.